Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Hi 2. We're on page 14. Look back. God willing, today we'll be wrapping up Unit 1. Alright, so may I ask you to open your books to page 14. Look back. Expressions. 1A. Fill in the blanks with the expressions in the box. You can see some words and phrases and idiomatic expressions. Let's take a listen. Look at the words and phrases. A pinch of salt, apple of her eye, walk on eggshells, trump card, fishy, cup of tea, bother up, glint. Now, let's complete the sentences using the words given. Number 1, the glint in her eyes warned him. Well, everyone, glint, as you know, means gleam. Well, the glint in her eyes means the strong emotion, the strong feeling, and feelings in her eyes warned him. So, the glint in her eyes warned him. Warn, when we warn someone, we tell them about a possible danger or a bad situation. Remember, the noun form is warning. Number 2, that was a pretty fishy story. Guys, fishy means dishonest, false. Remember, we say something is fishy or it smells fishy. So, dishonest and false. Number 3, she has 3 children, 3 kids, but her youngest son is the apple of her eye. The apple of her eye, her beloved one. Number 4, I'm not at all sure I'd rather marry Laura. She's not my cup of tea in many ways. Well, would rather, everyone, means would prefer. Would rather means would prefer. It means you like something, you love something. By the way, we say marry someone or we say marry to someone. Don't use with. This is a common mistake, unfortunately, among our dear students. So, she married him or she married to him, not with. And she's not my cup of tea in many ways. So when something or someone is not your cup of tea, it is not, or they're not the type of things or person you love. Number 5, I'll take anything, he says, with a pinch of salt, with a grain of salt. He has a habit of exaggerating things. Alright, so with a pinch of or with a grain of salt. Exaggerate means overstate. Make something look bigger, more serious, more important than it is. For example, Indian movies are full of exaggeration. Number 6, the bank has to bother up investors because it is in a fiercely competitive market. The bank has to, the bank must bother up. Bother up means to be too nice to someone, flatter someone, suck up to someone. Investor, everyone, means someone who invests, and the noun form is investment. So we make investments, or we invest, we use our money to earn more, to make money. Fiercely means extremely, really. Competitive is the adjective form of compete. So compete, we compete each other, teams compete each other, companies do so. The adjective competitive. Then we have competition, the noun, and competitors, companies or people who compete each other. Number 7, I hate it when I have to walk on eggshells around my friends and loved ones. So when you walk on eggshells, you kind of watch your manners not to upset or offend anyone. Number 8, he waited until the last minute to play his trump card and tell them about his plans to cut costs. Well, trump card, everyone, means an upper hand, an advantage. So we play our trump card. To cut costs means to reduce expenses. Cut costs. It is really crucial nowadays because of the economic recession to cut costs. 1B. With a partner, excuse me, try to use the expressions in sentences about you. Okay, so let's give it a try. Yeah? Shall we? Okay, the first one, remember everyone, take something with a pinch of salt, or we say take something with a grain of salt. That is the first idiom here. It means not completely believe something that you are told because it is kind of unlikely to be true. For example, I needed to take everything they said with a pinch of salt. They tend to exaggerate. They have a tendency to exaggerate. So I didn't believe them. I took whatever they said with a pinch of salt or with a grain of salt. The next expression is the apple of somebody's eye. Well, the apple of somebody's eye means the person who someone loves most, someone you are proud of. For example, in my family, my father is the apple of my eye. Yeah, the truth hurts. Next one, walk on eggshells. Remember, guys, we say walk on eggshells or walk on eggs. So if you are walking on eggs or if you are walking on eggshells, you are being very careful not to offend or upset someone or do anything wrong. When I meet my boss, I feel like I'm walking on eggs. I'm walking on eggshells. I watch my manners. I try not to offend him. Next was the trump card. Trump card is an advantage that makes you more likely to succeed than other people. It is especially something that other people don't know about. For example, Anita was able to play her trump card. Without her signature, none of the money could be released. So you play your trump card. It is an advantage, an upper hand, something that helps you be successful and win. Fishy, guys, remember smell fishy or be fishy? Well, fishy means dishonest or false. For example, there is something fishy going on here. Watch out. Next one is cup of tea. Remember, we say not be somebody's cup of tea. We use it generally in the negative. So, not be somebody's cup of tea. Well, guys, if something or someone is not your cup of tea, they are not the type of thing or person you like. Yeah. Well, my friend James is a nice guy, but he's not my cup of tea, I'm afraid. He's not the type of person I like. Bother up. Everyone, we say bother up someone. When we bother up someone, we please them, especially by praising them, in order to get them to agree to something, to get some advantage. For example, a company wishing to influence the government must bother up both parties in the House and the Senate. Bother up. That's a nice thing to do. Glint. Glint means gleam, or it is a small bright flash of light. Okay. And by the way, guys, a glint can also be a brief expression in someone's eyes, which tells you how the person is really thinking or feeling. Okay? For example, a glint of pride in his eye. Or remember in the story of a plate of peas, there was a glint in Rick's grandma's eye. She was just confident, sure about something. Glint. Okay, well, so these were just my examples. I'd like you to come up with your own examples. Just give it a try. You have nothing to lose, and after all, practice makes perfect. Well, let's move on. Grammar. Possessive apostrophe S. Apostrophe S. Number 2, choose the correct answer. Number 1, please don't park there. That is the employee of the parking place, parking space. So the correct answer is A, the months. You see, we need to add an apostrophe S, months parking space. Well, employee means a member of staff or a worker, someone who works in a place, in an office, for example. Number 2, blank coffee shop is going out of business because Sam and Joe can no longer stand working together. So everyone, it seems that this coffee shop belongs to both of them. So remember, when something belongs to both people, both parties, let's say, we add apostrophe S to the second noun. So the answer would be D, Sam and Joe's coffee shop. So Sam and Joe's coffee shop means a coffee shop which belongs to both of them. Alright? Is going out of business. Everyone, when something is going or goes out of business, it stops doing big business because of financial problems. Nowadays, you see and you notice many businesses, many companies and factories go out of business. By the way, we have set up or start up in business. Uh, they just start doing something, and it is difficult to stay in business. No longer, guys, here means no more, not anymore. I'm no longer a tennis freak, not anymore. Stand means tolerate, bear, put up with. Okay? Stand. Number 3, last blank meeting was extremely long and boring. It was really long and uninteresting, dull. So we have Friday here. So remember, we need to add an apostrophe S. So the correct answer is D, last Friday's meeting. Number 4, my cooking is really quite amazing, wonderful. Well, of course, it needs to be wonderful if you are married like me, because we are talking of our mother-in-law. So, my mother-in-law's cooking, that is C, my mother-in-law's cooking. So, the correct answer is C, everyone. Number 5, Mary put the papers on her blank desk. Well, everyone, many students get confused here. Remember, boss is not a proper noun. Okay, it is a common noun. It is not the name of a person like Locus or Travis or I don't know, Charles. Okay, it is a common noun, boss. So in order to show possession, we need to add apostrophe S. So her boss's desk. The answer is B. Number 6, excuse me, could you tell me where the restroom is? So restroom for men, remember we say where the men's restroom, apostrophe S. It is an irregular plural word, so we need to add an apostrophe S. People, people's, men, men's, I don't know, women, women's, children, children's, for example, children's room, I don't know, playground, hospital, men's department, women's department. So apostrophe S. Number 7, blank wives are fighting again. Oh my God. Not a nice thing to do. So wives is the plural form of wife. They have their own wives, so which means each noun here needs an apostrophe S. So Bob's and Jim's wives are fighting again. It means Bob's wife and Jim's wife are fighting. They have their own wives. Number 8, the bicycle belongs to one of the boys. We don't need any apostrophe here, everyone. So the answer is B. It belongs to one of the boys. It is his bicycle, let's say. Okay, 3A, vocabulary part. 3A. Match the words with their synonyms in the box. There are some extra words in the box. Now, look at the words and take a listen. Master, master, thwart, thwart, doom, doom, grim, grim, vibrant, vibrant, consume, consume, nutritious, nutritious, grandly, grandly, enormous, enormous. Well, number one, huge means enormous, gigantic, big, of course, very big. Number two, lively means vibrant, energetic, full of energy. Number three, gloomy means grim. Grim means sad, unpleasant, depressing. So grim and gloomy. Number four, collect, gather, which can be muster here, muster. And number five, prevent, stop, prevent, thwart. Okay, well, guys, since they say practice makes perfect, let's check out the words, just all of them one more time, and come up with some sample examples. Well, the first one, muster. Muster means to produce or encourage something, such as an emotion or support. For example, she managed to muster the courage to ask him to the cinema. Or the team will need all the strength they can muster to win the game. Or opponents are unlikely to be able to muster enough votes to override the veto. Muster. Next one is thwart, which is a verb. Well, thwart means to stop something from happening or stop someone from doing something, to prevent. For example, my holiday plans have been thwarted by the strike because the people are on strike. It has just thwarted my plans. Doom, everyone, means death or destruction. It can be a verb too. Yes, it can be a verb too. Well, doom means to make someone or something certain to do or experience something, especially something unpleasant, or to make something bad certain to happen. For example, are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? Remember, we say be doomed to do something. We are doomed to die. They were doomed to fail, for example. Or mounting debts doomed the factory to shut down, for example. Next one was grim. Grim. Grim, everyone, is an adjective which means worrying, without hope. Well, grim, grimmer, and the grimmest. For example, we say the future looks grim. It looks depressing. The noun form, everyone, is grimness, and the adverb form is grimly. They continued to work grimly, without hope. So, grim, grimness, and grimly. Vibrant is another adjective which means energetic, exciting, full of enthusiasm, or let's say it can be kind of enthusiastic. For example, a vibrant young performer or a vibrant personality. My best friend has got a vibrant personality. Or New York is a vibrant city. Or the hope is that this area will develop into a vibrant commercial center. Vibrant. Well, as we've discussed earlier, the noun form is vibrancy. Vibrancy. V-I-B-R-A-N-C-Y. Vibrancy. For example, no one can fail to be struck by the vibrancy of New York. And the adverb is vibrantly. Vibrantly. Consume was the other word, consume. It is a verb, everyone. It means to use something, for example, time, energy, fuel, especially in large amounts, in large quantities. For example, our high living standards cause our present population to consume 25% of the world's oil. Or he consumes vast quantities of chips with every meal. He eats a lot of chips with every meal. Next one is nutritious. Nutritious. Nutritious is an adjective, everyone. It means containing many of the substances needed for life and, of course, growth. Remember, your diet should be nutritious. Or spinach, everyone, especially raw spinach is especially nutritious. Next was grandly. Remember grand and grandly. Grand means important, impressive, big, kind of great. So grandly means impressively, importantly. So it suggests that something or someone has great importance. Grandly, importantly. So an example, she announced grandly that she was spending Christmas in the Caribbean. Grandly. And the last word here was enormous. Well, enormous means extremely large. It is an adjective. And remember, it is an extreme adjective. For example, an enormous car, an enormous house. He earns an enormous salary, like most of the managers in our country. I was absolutely enormous when I was pregnant, a woman might say, or you've been an enormous help, a big help. Well, the noun form is enormousness. So enormous, and the noun form is enormousness. Okay? So let's see. Well, let's move on. Exercise 3B, everyone. Just a minute. Yeah. Our last exercise. Okay. Well, 3B. Write the missing letters in each word. Well, we've got 10 words here. You need to supply, to fill in the missing letters. Okay, so number 1 is a sniffle. sniffle. Number 2 is inhibit. Inhibit. So 1 is sniffle. Number 2 is inhibit. Okay. So let me just, I'd like to type in the answers so that you can just check the correct spelling. Okay, yeah, I will share the answers, everyone. Okay, so number 1 is sniffle, number 2 inhibit, number 3 devastation, 4 trigger, 5 glint, 6 impending, 7 unwittingly, 8 possession, 9 wrecking ball, 10 glare, and 11 morsel. Well, in case you need to check the spelling, okay, here we go. Yes. So, everyone, 1 sniffle, 2 inhibit, 3 devastation, 4 trigger, 5 glint, 6 impending, 7 unwittingly, 8 possession, 9 wrecking ball, 10 glare, and 11 morsel. Okay, now let's just check the meanings and come up with some sample examples. Well, a sniffle or the sniffle, so a sniffle or the sniffle, if you remember, is a slight cold that affects our nose. Okay, for example, to say, I had a cold a couple of weeks ago and it has left me with a bit of a sniffle. It has left me with a bit of the sniffles, a slight cold. Inhibit, everyone, means to prevent someone from doing something or to slow the process of growth or the process of something. Remember one of the examples in our book, some workers were inhibited from speaking by the presence of their managers. Or we say, this drug inhibits the growth of tumors. Inhibit. Devastation, everyone, devastation is a noun. It means feeling very shocked or feeling very upset. Okay. For example, she had a look of complete devastation, sheer devastation on her face. She looked really shocked, really upset, devastation. Trigger, to trigger means to cause something or to make something bad to happen, to start. For example, some people find that certain foods trigger their headaches, or the racial killings on the weekend have triggered off a wave of protests. Trigger. Glint, remember we had it before. So glint means a gleam. It is a feeling It represents, so when we say there is glint in someone's eye, it means the person is really thinking or feeling something, a glint of joy or a glint of, I don't know, ecstasy in someone's eye. So, glint. Impending, it is an adjective. It refers to an event, to something unpleasant and unwanted that is going to happen, impending, happening soon. For example, an impending disaster, an impending doom, or the player announced his impending retirement from international soccer. Impending, happening soon, imminent. Next word was unwittingly. Unwittingly. Well, unwittingly is the adverb form of unwitting. Guys, when something is unwitting, it is not planned. So, unwitting means without planning, without knowing. Okay, unwitting. For example, the two women claimed they were the unwitting victims of a drug dealer who planted a large quantity of heroin in their luggage. Unwitting. The adverb, this one, unwittingly. I regret any anxiety which I may unwittingly have caused. So, unwittingly, unknowingly, without any plans. Well, the next word, number 8, possession. Possession means the fact that you have or own something. Remember the verb possess, possess and possession. For example, the possession of large amounts of money does not ensure happiness. Yeah, it sure doesn't. You know, they say money talks, but it can't buy or it can't ensure happiness. Or I have in my possession a letter which may be of interest to you. I have a letter which you may like to take a look to read. Or he was found in possession of explosives. So possess and possession. Next one, a wrecking ball, or a wrecking ball, everyone, is a large, heavy metal ball that just moves from side to side, that is swung against a building. We use it to knock down structures, buildings, because we no longer need that. So a wrecking ball. They use the wrecking ball to knock down the building. Number 10, glare, or remember the synonym glower. When you glare at someone, the way Rick's mother in the story A Plate of Peas did, you look directly and continuously at someone or something because you are angry. So, glare. Look angrily at someone or something. She glared angrily at everyone and stormed out of the room and left the room feeling angry. And the last one, morsel. Morsel or scrap, if you remember, everyone. Morsel means a very, let's say, small piece of something. For example, food. I had a morsel of cheese for breakfast this morning. or the prisoners ate every last morsel of the food. Well, this is it, everyone. Mission accomplished. Well, we're done with Unit 1. Hope you've enjoyed our program. Thank you for accompanying us. Well, guys, by the way, remember to practice and review because the more you practice, the better your English gets. And by the way, they say practice makes perfect. It is a key to language learning. Okay, so make sure to rewatch the videos, practice the new words, the structures, and don't forget to do the exercises in our workbook. Well, this is your teacher, Mr. Mazlumi from Chitsazan Language Institute. Well, wishing you all the best, love, success, and happiness. Have a great time, guys, and take care. Laters, alligators. Have fun.